Hello and welcome to this webinar on persuasive opinion, argument, non-fiction writing for years 10 and 11. Now we're looking at how to create a persuasive persona, and we're looking at three aspects: using anecdotes, using persuasive techniques, and adding irony. Now, first of all, I want to explain what a persona is. Even though it's non-fiction writing, you can be creative, you can be imaginative, because a persona is a personality, a character, or an identity. So you can adopt a persuasive persona for your non-fiction writing, but you must think carefully about your form, audience, and purpose. So if you're being asked to write a speech or a newspaper article that's for teenagers or for young children, or that tackles an issue about teenagers and young children, you may want to be a parent of teenagers or a parent of young children. If it's something to do with school and education, you might be a teacher or even a head teacher. If it's something to do with animals, you might have the persona of a pet shop owner or an environmentalist. If it's about mental health issues or confidence, you might decide that your personality, your character, your identity is going to be a school counsellor. Or maybe if it's to do with the law or crime, it might be an MP or a policeman or police officer that you choose to be. You can, of course, be your own self, but you need to think that when you're writing in order to persuade or to argue a case or a point, you have to have a strong voice. You have to have a personality, a character, or an identity. And that really is much more persuasive for your reader, because they can feel that person's passion and energy as they argue their viewpoint. Now, the three different aspects. Firstly, we start with anecdote. What is an anecdote? An anecdote is a short story about a person you know, and it's used for specific purposes. It supports an argument, it entertains your audience, or it simplifies a point that you are explaining. And as that personality, that character, that identity that you're using to get your views across, anecdotes are a great way of really being persuasive. My advice would be that you try and make your anecdote emotive, descriptive, and use contrast. And here are some examples. You don't believe that smoking's bad for you? Well, let me tell you about poor, wheezing Paul. He was an elite athlete, and then he smoked 2 packs a day. So you can see that it's emotive, it's using that word bad. You can see it's descriptive, it's talking about poor Paul, how he's an elite athlete, and you can see the contrast between him as an athlete and him when he was wheezing after he started smoking. So it's really trying to appeal in your personality, in your identity, to your audience. Here's another one. Some teenagers are terrible with money. I have one of the most gormless friends ever. My mate Laura insisted that we meet at a chic cafe, and despite my warning, she parted with the best part of £20 just for a couple of tempting muffins. I'd have been happy with a £1 cuppa. So you can see here, you're saying that that she's terrible with money, so you're being emotive. You're saying that she's gormless and the cafe's chic and the muffins are tempting, and you're using the contrast between the £20 spent on the muffins and the £1 that you could have had just for a cup of tea. Also, with your personality, your character, your identity, you should think about using persuasive techniques. Now, one way of knowing what persuasive techniques are is DeForest. So you use direct address, you use alliteration, you use facts and opinions from experts, you use rhetorical questions, use emotive language, statistics, and triplets or triads or tricolon, also known as the rule of 3. And the way that you use this is to really engage with your readers. You're using this wide range of different persuasive techniques to get that character, that personality, that identity, that persona across so that you are persuasive. Finally, you would add irony. Now, authors can use irony to make their audience stop and think, but it's the audience's role in realizing the difference between what's said and what's true or normal that's essential. Your audience needs to understand that you are being ironic. What you're saying isn't the same as what is normal or what is true. And here's a quick example. But if you are worried about going through the pain and hard work of staying healthy and losing weight, the answer is simple. Don't bother with the gym or regular exercise. Don't look at controlling your portion sizes or reduce the fat content of your food. Don't increase your water intake or increase your sleep level to help burn calories. Just find friends who are bigger than you and you'll soon feel much better. So you can see what the writer is saying is ironic, because what they're saying is different from what is true and normal. And hopefully the audience will realize the difference. So I hope that's helped you to understand how you can have a persuasive persona. Think about the identity, the character, the personality as you write, and use anecdotes and persuasive techniques and irony to really get those points across forcefully and persuasively. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.